Ethical camouflage. The fastest way to make people question evidence is to convince them about your character first. Research on the dark tetrad, the narcissists, the Machiavellians, the subclinical psychopaths, as well as the everyday sadists, shows that they invest heavily in impression management. Why? For a very good reason. They have understood something fundamental about the human psychology. We do not have time nor the information to evaluate everyone's behavior from scratch. So we naturally depend on mental shortcuts. And somebody is presenting themselves as ethical, empathetic, or the champion of psychological safety, our brain naturally lowers its guards. The reputation, their impression management does some of the work that evidence should do. And this is why having this kind of a reputation, the virtuous reputation, is such a powerful asset. Because when that value, when that virtue is questioned, people tend to give them the benefit of the doubt, because the story they believe about the person and the evidence that is coming through is not making sense, it's not aligning. So people will give them a benefit of doubt. So now people need to be careful over here. Not everybody who's talking about values is doing the same thing. What I'm saying is, instead of lowering your guards when you see somebody talk about values, become more alert. See what happens with their values when there is pressure introduced. So when somebody is talking about psychological safety, see what happens when somebody disagrees with them. Are they able to create psychological safety for them? Similarly, people who talk about respecting boundaries, see what happens when a boundary is set against them. Same for accountability. When somebody is talking about accountability, see what happens when they are held accountable for their actions. Are they becoming defensive, or are they actually changing their behavior? Not doing therapy speak, but actual changes in behavior. The organizational cost of such kind of behavior is that people will stop trusting evidence, they will start trusting narrative, and the problems that could have been clear if people were focusing on evidence now remain hidden, because like I said, it just does not align with the stories they believe. So they're protecting narratives rather than evaluating objective evidence. So what to do when this is happening in your organization? Don't audit these people based on what they claim as their values. Audit what the people are experiencing around them, especially their subordinates. Pay attention to what is their experience of them, because values are but claims. Culture, observable behavior, is evidence.